this time. Recording in progress. Good morning, everybody. It is week 2 of our book week, of our book club. We are talking about affirmations. I am Cynthia Kahi, the author of the book, and I love all of you for being here. I appreciate your cameras on this early in the morning. Good morning. So I just asked the question, how did we do with week 1? And I would really like an honest answer. Did we do the work?
No.
Hard no. That was a hard no, Bernie.
Well,
Andrea
no,
said yes. With a thumbs up. You said yes, Andrea. That's great. Do you want to take a minute?
I did.
To share?
I have
go
no
ahead.
voice, but yeah,
Oh no.
I'm good.
Good girl. Well, you're smiling, which is great. Yes, which is great. All right, I'm under a cupboard. Bernie, do you want to tell us why?
Just there at work, I've just had so many, things on my plate to get wrapped up, meaning wrapped up in January, and just, I just need to, okay, can I be honest, bold, whatever?
If you choose to be, we are here for you. Yes.
All right, here you go. I obviously have the ADHD deal, and it's one of the biggest things I struggle with is like follow-up. I am 100% gifted at going out and establishing the relationship with my customers and getting everybody in place and ready to submit, make the deal, whatever. My biggest struggle is with like follow-up. I'm constantly going after the next person, the next opportunity, and not following through with what I just, was able to come to fruition. So I'm working on that. And that's, to be honest with you, that's exactly why I'm in your group. Like in the Bible, Jesus didn't hang out with all the successful entrepreneur people. He hung out with the people that were struggling, that were, sick. Going to church, it's like a freaking hospital. Everybody's jacked up. You got to go there and hey, not rah, rah, hey, good job. No, man, get involved. I need that.
I like that perspective. Thank you. Thank you. I like that.
No charge.
Not today anyway, right? Not today.
But
okay,
hey,
so this is
here.
actually, go ahead.
Love being here. You said that was a hard no, and there was a little bit of like frustration in that, because as much as I want to get involved and embrace this whole thing, my struggle is doing that very thing.
I'm going to ask you a question and just table it. Just think about it. Write it down and think about it. Okay. I don't want you to answer. I don't want you to answer right this second.
Go ahead.
Well, I have one and then I have 2. So we don't know each other very well, but I want to ask you. So when you say follow up, or follow through, right? To me, there's a difference. But the question I have for you is it only you that you have a hard time following through with, or is it other people as well? So just sit on it for a second and just kind of marinate in it and really think about the circumstances. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll come back to it. Yeah.
And that's, see, had I not been open, you had not been able to understand what I need. So again, great question.
Okay. So, but just think about it for a second and then write it down. So, because here's why. So this whole chapter is affirmations. So this could be a really good way for you to get through it. Right. So affirmations, I know the boys know, Ben and Osbert, we've been in the group forever, and we all know what affirmations are. But does anybody else know what an affirmation is?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay,
Yes.
Miranda does. Cheryl?
Yeah.
Andrea does. Okay, do you use them? Yes,
Yes.
okay. And do you use them regularly? Like,
Um,
like
regularly.
literally
think-
every day?
Not every day, but like I've even got the kids in it where I try to throw them on. They want to punch me in the face for it, but I will throw them on while I'm driving them to school and they'll be like, Mom, not again. And I'll be like, just one round. One round,
Okay.
kids. They needed them, they need it just as much too. Being an adolescent super hard.
Well, I will.
Yeah.
Super hard, super hard. My internet connection is unstable. Just wave at me if I go fuzzy or whatnot. Oh, I'm fuzzy, huh? I'm sorry. It says I'm unstable at the moment. It was doing really well. I tested it a couple times yesterday.
It doesn't know you very well, does it?
Yeah.
I know, right?
That's why we love you, because you're fuzzy. Hey, real
Thanks, Bernie.
quick, hey, let me throw in a little levity. When you say affirmations, I'm going to tell you something. The first thing that comes to my head is the Saturday Night Live Daily Affirmations with Stuart Smalley. I don't know if you remember the skit. It was Al Franken. He'd look in the mirror and say, I'm good. I'm fantastic. And God darn, just, it was funny. It was like a bit. But hey, man, enlighten me, help me. I want to have daily affirmations.
So the reason why I asked is because some people do, I am strong, I am beautiful, I am loved, I am worthy. Those are like our traditional affirmations. When I learned about affirmations, so this is what they are. An affirmation is taking your subconscious, which is your huge supercomputer that takes in everything in your life that you have always done, that you don't even know is recording, but you've got this huge supercomputer, your subconscious, in the back of your mind, and it's constantly on, it's constantly going, it's just always working, it's always recording, it's thinking, it's doing all of the things that you don't even know is happening. And then the affirmation is your conscious. So you're taking something and putting it, it's like a Post-it. That's the way I think of it. You stick it right when you say it. It's like a Post-it note, and it stops the recording and it puts this in your forefront. And so it's something that you're actually thinking about. And the more often you do it, it rewires your supercomputer. The old thing will take a back seat and your Post-it note will come to front and center. And you will think about that Post-it note, and then it will become so natural that it's almost like it wasn't even in your supercomputer. Okay. So what happens is, I always take my very first affirmation we were doing, and I did share this last week, but it is when we were doing a challenge in our community, our business community. And what happened was, I had an aha moment where I was speaking words and I didn't understand what it was doing to me. I was speaking words that said, I don't share very well. And what that does is, and Bernie, we talked about this last week, what that does is it takes the emotion that I had and the belief in my supercomputer that said, I don't share very well. And what it did to me was, it made me have a different response. So you're taking that information from the belief from the supercomputer and you're using it for today. So the affirmation is to rewire that. So you're not taking the supercomputer information. So you're taking the information from right now, today. So, and if you don't mind, Bernie, I'll use you as the example again, because last week we talked about something that you said about your family and saying that you were too much, or they can only handle you in small doses. And we stopped and I said, do you understand what that does? Because you said it to me, and then I responded in a way that normally I wouldn't. And I caught myself because I felt the response, right? So it's a domino effect, right? Because it's in the supercomputer, it comes out your mouth, and then it actually is trying to think of the right word. It's actually like a preconceived, right? For me, because I don't know you that well, but because you said it, I believed it, and then I responded. And so you're creating this whole circle, this whole ripple effect. And until you change that supercomputer, until you change that thought process, you will be stuck in that same circle, in that same loop. And we think to ourselves, why can't we get out of it? Why does it keep happening to us? It's because we haven't affirmed and changed our beliefs. So the affirmation is your post-it note that says, I'm not going to believe that anymore. I'm not going to think that anymore. And I'm going to change my beliefs. And that's what the affirmation is for. And so mine was, I don't share very well. And that used to close me off. That used to be like, okay, even if you tell me something, I'm just going to take it in, and I'm not going to share my feelings, my thoughts, or who I am with you. And that was like my wall. That was my wall. And so I want you to take this time, and just with the 2 examples that I told you, right? Think about things in your life where you're seeing a repetition. Think about things in your life where you're seeing something that you want to change, right? Something that you are like, I am tired of this response. I am tired of this outcome. Why is it that I can't get out of it? Why is it? Well, the hard question is, one, you have to evaluate. You have to think about where those things are. Where are those instances in your life where you're saying, I need a change, or I want a change? So Bernie, beginning of the call, and I'm sorry, I have something in my eye. At the beginning of the call, you gave your example, right? I don't follow through, or I don't follow up. So I asked you to think about that. I asked you to think about why is that? Is it just you, or is it with other people too? And the reason why I asked is because it gives us a good reference. It gives us a good building point. We have to ask the hard questions so we can find the answers, right? If we don't ask ourselves the hard questions and are truthful, right? Because all progress starts when you tell the truth. If you constantly tell yourself the same thing, you're not getting anywhere. You're not being honest with yourself. And then you're getting the same results. So in order to make progress, you have to be truthful and ask yourself those hard questions. It's one of my gifts. I can ask hard questions. I ask them of myself, and I don't always like it. I get uncomfortable, but uncomfortable is where we grow, right? I am now comfortable being uncomfortable. It's one of my strengths. I like being uncomfortable. Thank you, Bernie. This is helpful. Okay, Cheryl. Always good to work with. Yes, Psyche. Yes. Yes. Right. And Bernie, it's so true. The war inside your head. It is so true. I ask the question, do you listen to yourself, or do you talk to yourself? The affirmation is talking to yourself. It's talking you through that cycle of the war in your head, the voices that you hear, the subconscious that's constantly playing and constantly playing. So I'm hoping that even just this intro kind of brought up for you a couple of things that we can talk through. So just sit for a second and process it. Oh, I like that. We're all in, not just you, we're all in different boats in the same water. I really like that. That's a good one. Thank you, Cheryl. But just think for a second. Is there something right now that you have a cycle, that you have a pattern, and you're like, why does this keep happening? What is this from? How is this going? Sure, just a second. I'm still here. I'm just trying to save the internet a little bit, and it's so crazy to you guys, because remember, it's always about whether you think you can or you think you can't. You are right. So those voices in your head, the things that are replaying and replaying, it's conditioning. It's what you have had experiences in your life. And it's not necessarily, here's something that's food for thought. It's not necessarily something that you believe, right? It's just been told to you so many times that you believe that you're unaware, right? What the effect it has on you. Not necessarily that you believe it, but you've heard it over and over and over and over. And then it's just automatic, right? So the trick is bringing it to the forefront and saying, okay, gotta call it out. And then we have to change it. That's the hard part. So take just a second and think about it, okay? And think if there's something that you are struggling with, or maybe just have noticed in your life that you want to change, because affirmations are so powerful, and they have literally changed my life. So my favorite one, again, is because I share very well. And look at me now. It's the craziest thing to me sometimes. I'm like, what is happening? Mindset is huge. So when I used to talk about affirmations, literally people used to look at me like I had three heads. They're like, what? What's an affirmation? Why do you do that? You talk to yourself? You look at yourself in the mirror and you actually talk to yourself? I'm like, it works. Does anybody know Mel Robbins? Yeah. She's
Yeah,
got
I do.
she's got the high five, and you high five yourself in the mirror. It's
I
one
don't
of
think I've
those
gotten
things.
that far yet.
She's got a book called is it called High Five? I think the newest one is called High Five. I think the newest one is.
Good. That's all I know.
She's
just-
really,
She's
really
good.
she's really, really good. And she's in it. It's funny because she is so I don't want to say simple, but it's simple. Like it's every day. It's just a real look at life. It's not made up. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like it pertains to everyday life. If you don't follow her, I would definitely suggest you follow her, because she's got great stuff all the time. All the time. She just started her podcast, and she's older, and she's been around forever. Well, in my opinion, she's been around forever. So asking again, just because this is the book club, so this is what we want to do, right? We want to work through it. So if there's something, if there's a pattern, if there's something in your head that you notice and that you want to change, right? Let's take a little bit of time and just, again, I want you to write it down. Like the whole point of the book club is to actually work through it. And did anybody read chapter 2 already? Just curious. Yes? Okay, yes, okay. Lorianne, did you get your book, by the way? Okay, good. I'm glad.
I haven't received it yet. I just realized that.
Oh, you
Yeah.
haven't?
No.
Well, I didn't
No.
get it out on Saturday. I'm very sorry, but I got it out on Tuesday, but you're in Petaluma.
Yeah, it should be there. It's been a lot. I'm going to say I probably haven't checked the mailbox in the last 2 days.
Okay, okay.
You
Okay.
know?
It's in a pink envelope. You can't miss it.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I'm
You
gonna run
can't
out right
miss it.
now.
Oh, so, and here's the other thing. This is in the book. You know, we talk about mindset a lot, and the cover and the title of my book is you can do hard things. So you have to make a commitment, and you have to want to do this for yourself. You have to want to get better. And this is for everybody. You know, the growth journey for us, Ben and Osbert and Allie Beth now, we've done it for, I don't know how long you guys have done it, but I know Osbert and I kind of started at the same time, right? So we're going on 3 years. We're on 3 years. And so we've got a little bit of background. Ben, how long have you been doing it? Were you going to tell me?
Geez, affirmations. I'm gonna have to go back to 2015, I think is when I went
Oh.
to
I thought you were going to say 20 years.
no, I not that far back. Oh my goodness, no. There's a bigger battle on that one for years. No, that was back when my first Tony Robbins experience, because they talk about the miracle, not the miracle morning. Oh, what is it? It's something he does every day, and my brain's not wrapping around it this morning, but yeah, just doing that and just working through that as an affirmation for myself. So
Okay. Yeah. And they, so the growth process for us, like when you commit to the growth process and you constantly work on yourself every day. I mean, it's something that, it's a way of life. And so when I say commit to you, I'm saying commit to feeding your soul, having a positive mindset, doing something for you every single day. And one of those things is the affirmations. So I share very well as one of them. This is a really good one. And these are all in my book. Wait, I went off a little bit on my train of thought. So when you commit, right? There's different levels of commitment. And some people say they commit, but they don't really commit, right? You can say you're committed to you. You can say you're committed to the growth process. But one of my things is the proof is in the pudding. Are you doing it every day? Are you listening to podcasts? Are you growing? Are you reading? Are you getting in business groups? Are you doing things to really better yourself and to grow? And that's one of the things when you commit to you. Coach says, when you commit, you kill something off. So there's things that you'll have to sacrifice, whether it's laying in bed for 20 minutes, vegging on social media, right? Or it's, or other mindless things that people do in the morning. I don't even know anymore. What are other mindless things that people do in the morning? I mean, vegging on social media is like number one. Emails in the morning, things like that, right? I mean, sometimes just saying you're busy, and giving yourself that excuse. Oh, I'm busy, I can't. I'm busy, I can't. I'm busy, I can't. Well, you really can. It's just a matter of committing to yourself and putting that process in place. So if you're finding yourself saying, I'm busy, then that's another hard question. Well, what are you doing that makes you busy? And really look at, am I just running around wasting time? Am I at home and I'm not focusing on me? Am I not setting aside the time? So things like that. And then I was go
people I know other than you, and I found the time.
good. And so why did you find the time?
Because I had to. I put in the chat in the last month and a half, my life completely changed because I changed my mindset and kept it that way, and have forced myself to keep it a positive mindset, and use my affirmations that are for me, and things that I needed to switch what I was telling myself. And yeah, it immediately starts working.
That is awesome. And it is a huge game changer. Huge, huge, huge mindset. So when you say you changed your mindset, can you tell me one thing that you did?
My son is doing dances right in front of me.
What did you say?
My son is doing dances in front of me.
Oh, okay.
He knows what
That's
I'm
good.
doing.
He's doing it
like,
on purpose.
You're such a dork,
Yes.
Mom. I'm like, yes, I know. But it's okay. You're a dork too. Listen, affirmations. I make them do it too. Anytime they
Good.
say anything that's ridiculous, I'm like, now how can we turn that into a positive? So
See,
what was the question? I lost track.
that's okay. Like, so when did it flip for you? Like when you said you changed your mindset, like what was one thing that you really did to change your mindset?
I stopped being a victim in my own life and started being the leader of my own life.
So good. So good.
And,
And
for so long you could talk and talk and talk, but talk's only so much. You need to act and actually follow through.
that's awesome. That's awesome. It it makes my heart it makes my heart smile because so Andrea and I have kids that go to the same school, and she used to work at the school. And one day she was talking to me and she said, I have 3 jobs and I'm not, I'm so tired and all of these things. And I don't remember exactly what I said the first time, but it took a couple of times. And then I was like, have you read my book? And so I believe that everybody can make a change, right? So just by Andrea making that mindset shift, now she's helping
And
her
how long
children.
did that take after I read the book the first time? I've had your book for
I know it's
a couple
probably
years
been,
now.
well, I've only,
Well, not a
so
couple years,
lucky,
but
I was going to say, so lucky for you, it's only been 1.5 years since I wrote it. So that's good.
yay!
So
No,
I
at
mean,
least it's been a little over a year.
yeah, but she owns her own business. She is a massage therapist who is amazing. She decided, yes, this is what I'm going to do. She committed to herself, and she you share it with your mom though, right? I mean, but it's yours, but you have your own clientele, but you guys share the space.
Actually, at Soulshine, it's basically mine.
Good.
She works out of her home. We're partners
Okay.
in healing touch
Yes.
therapies,
Oh, okay.
but my space is now mine, and
Mm.
she works out of her home. So we still work under the entity of healing touch therapies, but I am out of Soulshine Family Chiropractic and Wellness.
It is wonderful, and she
And
is
I rent my space,
amazing.
and I pay rent, so no one, I don't get a
Right.
check. No one's in charge of me. I'm in charge of me. And that's the
Right.
hardest thing too, is making yourself accountable.
My favorite word.
Like yeah, like Bernie was saying, it was hard to follow up with people. I struggled with that for a long time, of not getting back to people immediately. And when people want a massage, they want a massage like right now. Unfortunately, I book like 3 weeks out now. So unless there's a
It's a great
cancellation, you
problem.
can't get in anyway. I know. I'm like, it's a
Right.
great problem to have, but my client, I do, Cheryl.
She's
And
awesome.
yeah, and but just making myself accountable, and checking my messages all day long, even though I don't want my phone in my hand all day, is, in between my clients. I didn't do that before. And
Did you?
it's just really changed. And being there, being in a good environment helps
Yeah.
tremendously. I have an
Yes.
amazing support team at Soulshine, and we're a women-owned and ran business, and so we really pride ourselves on that, and keeping a good healing environment for us. And we see men, women, babies. I
That's
have
right.
a few young athletes, and it's just completely changed my life to finally say, yes, I'm going to do this, and I'm
So
going to be successful. I am successful. I am
I was
doing
going to
this.
say,
I am successful.
so
And
this
that
is
was
your
the other
affirmation.
thing.
So this is
Yeah.
your affirmation. Okay. You share it again. I am doing this. I am successful.
I am doing this. I am successful. It got me that
Do you
house we
do
wanted
you
to
say
rent.
it though? Do you have one?
I
Do you
do.
have one that you say? Okay. Do you want to share it?
I kind of switch it up. on the days. I guess I'm not very good at consistency with the same words. And maybe I need to be a little better with that, of course.
Well, that's okay.
But
That's okay. I
Um,
mean,
I am successful. I'm happy. I am healthy. Because all of those things are things that I've been struggling with for a long time.
yeah,
But I am successful. I am healthy. I am happy. I take care of me.
good,
So that's a
good.
new one lately because I've been really, as you know, trying to take care of
Yes,
myself and put myself on a, it's always been like kids, husband, everything else. And so I've been trying to
that's right.
um, take care of what I need, and it's making everything better for everyone else around me as well.
That's right.
You're
Because if your
miserable,
cup is empty,
everybody else is going to be miserable, right?
that's right. If your cup is empty, you can't give anything. So you got to fill your cup so that you can give more. Does anybody else do affirmations on the regular that would like to share one? Nobody
I
wants? Oh,
say, hey, this is Ali Beth for you guys that don't know me and girls. I say I am nature greatest miracle. I
hmm,
say that. I also say I'll greet this day with love in my heart and I will succeed. And I repeat this out loud a lot of times. I'll greet this day with love in my heart and I will succeed. I'm in a location and where sometimes staying positive right now, like in this time of my life that I am right now, it has been very difficult to be positive. And I know I started my positivity and journey of affirmations and all that back maybe in 2019 or 2018, possibly. Back in college, I started by reading the book of The Secret. That's what made me start connecting with affirmations and positivity and switching things. And since then, it's been a very kind of like easy to just stay in that positive side. But at this time that I am now, it has been a little bit difficult. I also use your affirmation of I share very well. I say that too. But it has been a little bit difficult to just stay in that positive and affirmation state because my environment has influenced so much at this time that I don't have one set for me particular. I'm rebuilding that. What does it means for me to, speak on that positive mindset? So I'm writing some new ones, but those ones, like for example, the one of I am great. I am nature greatest miracle, and I'll greet this day with love in my heart, and I will succeed. Has been very, very essential in the past few days.
it's a really good one. Can you tell me what you feel when you say it?
When I share the one, when I say I'll greet this day with love in my heart, and I will succeed, I feel a little bit of relief and peace. It's hard sometimes to get up and really greet the day with love, in your heart, which is even more deep, not just superficial love, but love in your heart, and I will succeed. And then this will help me. So if it feels peace, it feels a little peaceful. It feels like I could keep going and doing and that even though things in the outside may be hectic, that I still greet the day with love. That every act I could just find.
So what the affirmation does is it's creating this feeling for you, right? The reason why you say the affirmation, and Ben and I, we talked about this a couple years ago. One of the things that we talked about was he set an alarm and he would say his affirmations 3 times a day. And so it's helpful because it creates this feeling for you, right? You have this day where you're maybe in a job that you don't like. The environment isn't always that good. So you create your own, right? One of the things we did in the affirmations group was creating your own joy. Well, that affirmation brings joy to Allie Beth, which is an amazing thing when you can create joy on your own, not getting it from somebody else, the outside world, because that's happiness. That's an out, dang it, lost the word. That's an outcome. The happiness is an outcome of an event. That's the after. I'm missing the word. I freaking can't remember what it's early. Product, but there's a different word. It's a boys help me out. Okay, anyway. You get the idea. It's the outcome. Happiness is the outcome of an actual event. So but joy comes from the inside, right? It's not something that needs something to create it. Like I can create my own joy. Like for me, when I'm sitting on the balcony and having a cup of coffee, that brings me joy. When I am talking to my kids, that brings me joy. I have a song that I listen to. Like if I need to change my state and I need to get out of whatever little funk or something like that, I create my own joy. I put on this song and it literally, you dance around for 30 seconds and you create this momentum. So an affirmation is very similar. So if you're going through something and you need to constantly remind yourself to get yourself out of it, that is what the affirmation is for. Because again, it's our supercomputer. It constantly plays back there. It constantly plays. And then of course the environment has something to do with it as well. Of course your environment has something to do with it. Because if you're constantly hearing, like I said, the subconscious takes everything in. So if you've got people who are talking about this person and talking about that person and nothing's going right for them, then you're going to focus on those things too. So the affirmation is that stopping point, and then you say to yourself, and I'm sorry, tell me it again, Allie Beth. I greet the day.
I will greet this day with love in my heart and I will succeed. By the way, I got that from this book that's called The Greatest Salesman in the World from O.G. Mandino. That's where I got it from.
That's awesome. Drea popped out. Okay. That's awesome. And you can get them from anywhere. And one of the best things is creating it for yourself. And so that is why I wanted to go through a couple, because I am strong, I am beautiful, I am worthy. Those are great. But if you have something in your life that you need help with, I'm going to use Bernie as the example. So having a little bit of a problem following through. If you asked yourself that question, Bernie, and you have an answer, and if it's following through with you or just following through in general, because we can build an affirmation that helps you with that, so that when you find yourself in that situation, and you can say your affirmation 3 times a day, it'll be great. It'll be very helpful, because then you'll start to change that about yourself. You'll start to look at it differently. You'll start to call yourself out. You'll start to notice it more often. And then as you do that and you affirm yourself, you'll be like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because you're telling yourself differently. Does that make sense? So when we do an affirmation, I am strong, I am beautiful. Cheryl and I came up with one also. And if you want to share it, Cheryl, please do. I can't remember them all. So, but I know that we created it just for you. I know, right? I wish I could.
I am strong and powerful and living a joyful life. But I also wake up in the morning and say, I woke up this morning, the rest is gravy. It doesn't matter what happens in my day. I got this.
And can you share just a little bit about why we created that affirmation?
Because I was just recently diagnosed with CML, which is chronic myeloid leukemia. Chronic is the key word, because you can have it your whole life and you can live a long life. It was right before Christmas, and the medical field is such a mess. Not the people in it, they are wonderful, but trying to get appointments, it took me over a month to get the medication I needed to be on. And I've been on it for 8 days, and I had a blood test, and my doctor was surprised at the how much my numbers went down. So life is good.
That's wonderful. It's good. But the mindset and the creation of the affirmation, right, was
Mhm.
to help you through the mindset of, right?
Yes, that's and it did. I just, instead of like giving up and like, oh, I can't get an appointment with the doctor. I can't, okay, so take yourself to the doctor's office and get an appointment. So it's, yeah, taking my life in my own hands. So,
Right. And
yeah.
thank you for sharing it. Thank you for sharing it, because it means something. You can create an affirmation for anything in your life. Wanting a better relationship with your kids, with your spouse. It's a reminder. It's like I said, it's a post-it note. You take that subconscious that's constantly moving and constantly recording, and you put that post-it note up, and it brings you right here to this moment. You're like, nope, I'm not going with all of the things that are in my brain. You're going to say to yourself, this is it right here. This is what I'm focusing on. This is how I'm going to reframe this. This is what I want, not all the crap that's playing. If you don't mind, Lorianne, I'd like to put you on the spot for a second. Lorianne and I have been friends for, I don't even know how long. How old is Sophia? I met her when she was pregnant at an open house. The girl was taking pictures in my open house. And I was like, I really appreciate that, but it's a personal residence. And can you please not do that?
And then we
So how
ended up
many years
working
ago was
together.
that? Yeah, and then we worked together. Craziness.
11 and a half. Yeah,
Wow.
maybe 12. She's
Wow.
11 and a half now. She'll be 12 in June.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. And she's
Yeah.
a beautiful girl. So
Great girl.
The reason why we do the groups like this is to help you. So I know that the support system for you is a little bit different. And she texted me and she said, I want to do it. I want to do the book club. I want to do the book club. And she is a little hard on herself, but she wants to be more consistent. So what I would like to do is, and if you've gotten, just kind of share a little bit about that particular consistency experience, like, because this is what it's for. It's to help you, get through it. So if this is the thing you're struggling with, then, and you can tell me you don't want to do this if you don't want to do this, but I think it's important because the whole point of the group, right, is to have the support system to get you through it. And that's why I wanted to do the club. So if you want to share, let's talk about it for a second.
Okay. Willing to do that. Okay. I'm a little bit unclear on the question though, and what you would like me to expand on.
Well, the reason why you wanted to do the book club was why?
Oh, because consistency. I have the best of intentions. I'll start something, do it for a minute, and fall off. And it's just because things get busy or I'm tired. I swear I still feel like I'm nursing through the night when I wake up in the morning. Like once I had those babies and nursed through the night, I feel like I never got untired. So that's a big thing. I should probably look into that after all these years. But, I'm constantly starting over because I am not consistent enough to keep everything going. And sometimes it's because I'm tired, or sometimes it's, I'm actually going through a really traumatic situation with her right now. So I completely forgot about looking in the mail for the book, so, yeah.
And that's okay. So, and the reason why I asked you to share a little bit is because it is a specific situation, and literally affirmations can be used for any specific thing. You can do it from something in the past. You can do it from something last week that you noticed came up. You can do it for this particular season in your life. Affirmations help you get to the next level. They get you through whatever situation that you want to help yourself correct. And the reason why affirmations work is because you're stopping the thought process. You are stopping it and you're saying, this is my post-it note. This is what is right in front of me. And this is what I am focusing on. And that is why they work. So
I should probably one of the people that set their alarm 3 times a day.
and it would be good for you just in the beginning to help yourself because it's hard. You get busy. You're a mom. You have your own job and you're doing other things. So it takes a little while, just like anything else, right? But I think we should craft one for you. There's something about starting over there. There's something there, in my opinion. That's what stood out to me was starting over, right?
And that's something that I also struggle. So sometimes I think that sometimes that is with maybe not, or sometimes us not believing that we can. You know, like in my case, sometimes it happens the same thing. Like I have completed many different things in some areas. Let's say it's more easy to me to do fitness. It's more easy to me to do like eating healthy, like some basics. But when it is about like personal development, for example, that takes a little bit more time, like reading, like saying the affirmations, or like doing those parts is kind of like more difficult, or even follow up with somebody or share with somebody. Those things require a little bit more of my effort. And in those things, I think sometimes it is the part of like even believing that we can and that we actually are able to make an impact, like to add value to all those kind of things. So sometimes for me, like it's not that I want to start over at all times, or that I really got so tired. It could have possibly been I couldn't really believe I could do it, you know? So that brought me into that thought of like, could be also that believing that you can, that it's actually possible, even though if you're tired, even though if you don't have enough time or whatever it might be.
So there's a process. There's a process to all of this. You start, you get a feeling, right? When you start something new, you get a feeling, right? It's happy. It's, oh my gosh, I'm going to do this. Then you have the energy, right? And then you start to peter off and you fall off. And then what happens? You didn't get the actual gratification of completing the process. So there, in fact, is your cycle. That is your pattern because you have done it before in the past. So you haven't gotten to that point where you feel the emotion and the gratification of actually completing something. Now, I understand that there are different areas in which you can complete things. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, I don't want to stop your point process on that. One thing that kind of stuck out to me is the statement starting over. I don't believe that is a good mental point to start from. Start from the last checkpoint, not starting over, because starting over would be like, well, does that mean that you're starting over with the pregnancy with the kids? Does that mean you're starting over in high school? Does that mean you're starting over at your own infancy? Just think of it as starting from your last checkpoint and use that as your reference point, because there is a lot of weight with the words I'm starting over. And that means that you're starting from new, as if you don't know anything. If you start from, I know this, and this is where I'm starting at, not I'm starting over. And that might help hurdle you past that anxiety of, oh man, for me, weight loss. I'm trying to get into a point where I'm back at that, as I like to call it, my fight weight. It's about 235 pounds. I was pretty happy with her. And I have to get back into the mindset of I'm not starting over, I'm continuing on. It's you stop at a point in your journey and then you just pick back up and just keep going. Because if you start all over, in my case, it would be back over 320 some odd pounds instead of where I am right now, where I'm progressing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that's really good. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And again, it's what's in here, right? So maybe, and what I heard is it's, this is good. So it's a stopping point, right? It almost stops you because you say you're starting over. It really stops you. And so to Ben's point, when you continue on, change the thought process, change the journey instead of starting over, right? And there's something to be said about the journey. At one point I got in rooms with people who, you know, had done so much more than me, right? Everybody's so much more advanced. What am I doing? How am I going to do this? I'm a beginner. Well, once I accepted the fact that I'm an advanced beginner, I told myself that's where I'm at, but I will progress to the next level, right? So if, as long as you, like Ben was saying, don't say you're starting over, you're an advanced beginner. You're moving along your journey. So we could make an affirmation that says something to the effect of, I am.
I liked continuing.
Yes,
Sorry.
continuing. That's okay. No, use it because that's what it's for, right? You want to do it for you. So I am continuing. You can say your journey, you can say your path. I'm trying to think of really specifically for you where it's going, because is it more for when you say you start and stop, when you say the consistency part, is it more on your self-development? Is it more on your business? Is it more in your relationships? Like, I wanted to kind of craft it.
It's, gosh, it's with everything. It's with my fitness. It's with work. It's with my diet. The relationships are pretty good. People person, you know, I put, yeah. People
Yes.
mean, caring for people means a lot to me, but it's with personal stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's with my stuff and my things.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So something to the effect of it, I'm just going to spit it out, and I do this, but then I can't remember it. So write it down.
No pressure.
Yeah. Because I'm recording it. I'm recording
I'm
it.
getting a pen.
So as I hear it, I'm hearing, you know, you want to grow. So I am continually working towards my best life, or I'm continually working on the best version of me. Right? But then you want the hook at the end. So I'm continually working on the best version of me to have my dreams come true, to, like, once that happens, what's the goal at the end? I am continually working on the best version of me, and it can evolve later. It can evolve later, but I want there to be something there that says you get that feeling, right? Because the whole part, that's why I say I am confident, I am strong. But what's the hook with that? Like Cheryl's
my goal is to
I am
become
strong and
self-sufficient.
positive. Okay,
Powerful.
so say that. So I am continually working on the best version of me to become, you could say self-sufficient,
It's not ringing with me. Like,
I know.
that's where I'm
That's what-
headed, but it's not having a
It's
good
okay.
ring.
It's
But we'll
okay.
put it
And if-
there and work on
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay. And if anybody has the good word or can help, that's what this is for. So Ben's good with words. He's searching. Look.
I made my first book note. Ooh.
Okay, good. Ben says mind, body, spirit.
Yeah, add the components, because it's one thing to say you're going on a trip. It's another
Right.
one when you're saying I'm going on a trip inside of my car to a destination. I'm going to be staying in this place and this is what I'm going to be doing. So keep your destination in mind when you're trying to write that out. You've already identified yourself as a destination, so add those components in there. Mind, body, spirit kind of a thing, so that you're not just leaving it amorphous, this cloud. You don't have a
Right.
specific focused journey point. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, thank you.
Because you could say, I need to lose weight, and then you lose a pound and woohoo, you're done and it's over. Get out of here. Move on to the next thing. You know, I'm going to have time to say my affirmation. You tomorrow morning, you wake up and you go, I am complete. Okay, I said my affirmations. I never have to do it again. But it's the continuous recite, you know, keeping that going through your mind. And I think that that goes to what I was, when Cynthia mentioned about that, I have a timer that goes off. I have a timer that goes off at 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 3 o'clock to remind me to say these things so that I can keep my mindset on the good side of the scale, not the dark, dreary, boring side of the scale. So
Do you want to share one of yours, Ben? Can you share one of yours?
Actually, I would love to. I was kind of hoping we were going to get an opportunity. I just wrote a new one based
Okay.
on another person that I know. He kind of spit this out the other day, and I wrote it down, and I love it so much because every now and then when you wake up and, you know, the journey and the world burdens get on you. And it starts out like this. I woke up this morning. I'm on this side of dirt. I still draw breath. I have already won. This is going to be a spectacular day.
That's
So
awesome.
that for me helps try to set that mindset back up, and every day I write it down. It's in my journal. It's every day, and it helps me to remember that as I'm going through my day, and especially when I come home after a long day and after a long bunch of clients and dealing with all the things that I do. I come
Mhm.
home and you get tired and you don't want to do anything, and when you're sitting there looking at the clock going and then you go, well, I got to go to the gym. I got to take care of my body, because if I don't take care of the body, what do I got to live in?
That's
So,
right. Can you say it again for me? Say your affirmation again.
yes, I woke up this morning. I'm on this side of the dirt. I still draw breath. I have already won. This is going to be a spectacular day.
I love it. I would suggest, encourage at the very beginning. How does that make you feel?
That I woke up this
When you-
morning.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when you say it, what does it make you feel inside?
I've already won. Everything else is gravy after that.
And this is funny because that's what Cheryl says. That's funny. That's what Cheryl says.
It's funny. I actually wanted to bring that back around because I was like, hell yeah. It's gravy after this. Everything else is just it's all just gravy on top of the potatoes at that point, or French fries. It depends on your taste.
And you don't have to. I'm just saying, I think in the very beginning, it would be good if it said, I am blessed. And then continue the whole thing, because that's the feeling that you get. And the affirmation is I am. And so that's just my 2 cents, but you can use it however you want. But it's a feeling that you get with the affirmation. And Loran, I was just curious, did you happen to, when you said those words, when we were talking about it, did you get a feeling?
Yes.
Did you smooth something out? I'm just curious if you crafted something there.
It's really long right now but yes, I'm continually working towards my best life, mind, body, and spirit. I'm continually working on the best version of myself to become self-sufficient, which I'm not the self-sufficient part, but that's kind of what I'm working with right now. And
So perfect case in
things
point.
around.
So
Yeah.
perfect case in point. It doesn't have to be real right now. So affirmations help you get there, right? You're saying that I'm not self-sufficient yet. Well, the affirmation is there to help you get to being self-sufficient, because again, the emotion, the feeling that you have when you say it, right? That's the thing that helps you stay in it. It's the thing that helps you. I'm trying to think of the right words. It's so funny. So your subconscious, right? It's that thing that's always there. And you don't always necessarily know that the feeling that you get when something is said, but you're literally using that Post-it note to bring yourself to the forefront. And you say, this is my conscious, and this is who I want to be. This is where I'm at. That's why the feeling helps, because it's rooted in you, and then you want that feeling. That is what you want. That is your desire. That is how you'll get to that next point. Does that help?
Yes. Yes.
You know, can I also throw one more? I'm sorry. I feel like I'm totally pirating this whole thing today.
You're doing great. Input is great.
So let me ask you this, Lauren, if I
Yes.
may. When you say something, what is the most exciting place you've been to?
Probably, well, New York. I was going to say Puerto Rico, but New York's a little bit more exciting.
Okay. So what brings in more excitement to the memory? I have gone to New York, or I have gone to Puerto Rico, or I am going to Puerto Rico, or I am going to New York.
I am.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
the mindset. It's where the mind goes when you say it, because when you say to yourself, I am going on vacation, I am going to Hawaii, unless of course you've been there a lot, like some people. Anyway, but when you say I am, the mindset is it is a now thing, not a past thing. Because, you know, what is it you say about living in the past, Cynthia? I like to live in I prefer
Today I choose to live out of my imagination and not my memory. It's a really
exactly.
good one. Yeah.
So what that does is that brings you into the now and not into the past. So that you can have that to kickstart your day of saying, I am going to have a great day. I am going to, you know, and then that helps. And again, it's just where I'm at, because that helps me to remember to be grounded out in today, not into yesterday. So
That's right. Allie Beth, I'm going to say one more thing and then you can go. So the whole point of the affirmation is to bring it to the forefront, stopping that supercomputer, stopping your process and saying, this is where I'm at. Today, I choose to live out of my imagination and not my memory. And that one came up for me. It's in my book. It was actually in Coach Bert's book. It was a little bit longer and I just used it for what I needed it for. Because we have that supercomputer in our brain, because we have those emotions that are attached to it, you're changing it. You're saying, today, I choose to live out of my imagination, where I'm going, what I see, where I want to be, not my memory, which is the experiences I've had, the feelings I've had, and what has happened in the past. It is a way for you to use this moment. And I say this all of the time. Heart work is the hard work, but it is the most rewarding. Almost everything that is in here comes from here. The memories, it's a feeling, it's an emotion. That's why when I say I am, right? I want you to root it to a feeling. I want you to have that emotion so that you can feel it today, not what it used to be, not an experience you had in the past, today's experience, where you want to go, the imagination, your dreams, your wants, your desires. That's where you're going. And that's the feeling that you should have when you have an affirmation. Allie Beth.
Hey, okay. I have wrote a few affirmations, but I'm still seeking more clarity on what's the affirmation I really need to make, or where is the switch I need to. Finally, where I think I'm struggling in my business or life is just not just in sharing, but like in taking action of like booking, following up, parties, letting people ask for the favor, and asking like, hey, can you help me with this? And like how to interact with others and tell them about what I do, not just to them to know and be aware of like, oh, I do this, but and to offer what I do, like how to bring them to the point of like, hey, you know, I do this and this is what I do, and like I want to share with you and your friends and whatever. So I don't necessarily know how to create my affirmation for this, because I feel like I haven't identified in what areas that, I don't know, it's missing some more empowerment for me to just, you know, be able to do that part. Let's say, for example, I have friends in here that I know from other communities. Maybe I have never told them about what I do, you know, like why, if they have been my friends, you know, or like, I know, let's say this, I know communities is a place where I could go and they may support me in certain areas. So I'm still, I don't know what it is that I'm, in what area is that I may need more nurturing or something, because I still cannot identify really what is the root or what is that, and where's that I am, I don't know, like not so part, you know, like, I don't know. So I need help. I'm trying to build a good set of affirmations so I can start speaking up, because I am getting there to the point like, okay, I'm trying to educate myself a little bit more so that when I be ready to do it, then I have the knowledge, you know, so I could provide and help and add value to others. So I don't know.
So, well, it's good. So this is the part where you would journal a little bit. This is the part where you would kind of get it out, right? So journal a little bit, but then, so the activity at the end of this chapter is writing 3 things that you're good at and 3 things that you want to change or get better at. Because, and the reason why I do that is this exact reason. Stuff in our head, but we have to pick something, right? So the 3 things that you're good at that bring you pride and joy, right? How are you good at it? You bring people together, Ali Beth. Your smile is absolutely contagious. You have this energy about you. And then 3 things that you want to improve. So for whatever reason, you don't tell people about what you do, right? Health coach, right? Is that the part?
Yeah.
So
Health and you know, my business of Arbonne and life coaching. I'm also a life coach, and I tend to do that sometimes, not necessarily providing, like telling them like, hey, this is a service I do. I just get benefits about it, you know?
well, confidence in what you do, I think, is part of the reason, and maybe the experience, you know, to help yourself get more experience and confident, and then it'll nurture and grow itself. So journal about those couple of things, and then I would say set up, my internet was funky, so I turned my camera off. I would say set up a one-on-one and we can craft it for you, right? It is getting specific, which is really important, right? Because you want that feeling, you want that confidence, and then you want to actually follow through and make it part of your everyday. And that is exactly what the affirmation is for. It's exactly what it's for. So I would take some time today and journal about those things right now. After, don't get sidetracked, stay in the moment, stay in the feeling of what you really want to accomplish, and just trying to get some of that out, and then schedule a one-on-one on me and we'll go over it together. And then we can craft your affirmations, and then you can set the timer and use it 3 times a day, and you will watch your confidence change. You will watch your mindset change, and then it will just become second nature. And that again is the whole point of the affirmations. So if you've got something, Julie, I didn't really give you any space to share. Would you like to share something about affirmations? Have you used them before? Is it something that you want to learn and use more of?
So I do use them. When you were talking, I had this really specific thing that I do. I work with a doctor that's emotionally up and down all the time. You just kind of never know what mood or if they're going to be rough or, you know, whatever.
Sweet as pie.
And Exactly. And I use an affirmation when I walk in and I find out that it's going to be a rough day. And I have stolen yours. One, I can do hard things. And the other is that I will tell myself it's going to be a beautiful day, put myself in a bubble and just like, this is her problem, not mine, you know?
That's right.
So I use it to flip the switch before I get sucked into the negativity because I do that real easy. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. So yeah,
We feed off of other people's energy. Other people's energy affect us. Our energy affects other people, right? So one of the ones, it just popped into my head, right? As you walk into, or if you know, I am a light. Like this is me and this is who I want to be. And so it's not her affecting you. I am a light of love and positivity. Something like that. You can walk in with, you can say it as many times as you need to during the day, right? And it
right.
gets you out of what's in your environment and it puts you right where you are, right? So you can say something like that too.
Yeah, I do use an affirmation on my way to work every day. And it's, you know, it's that type of thing. It's going to be a beautiful day. I'm healthy, wealthy, and prosperous. You know, it's like
Good.
that kind of thing. And since I started doing affirmations, I have found things turned around. You know, I started doing them a while back and I was struggling. You know, I lost my husband and struggling with life and finances. And just, I kept saying, how am I going to survive? How am I going to live? I turned that around by saying, you know, money is just going to come to me. I don't know how, but it does. Just by saying, I will, you know, the universe will, you know, help me. There's an abundance of wealth and the universe will take care of me. It happens. So now I have to turn it around to how I can produce it. So that's my thing.
That's awesome. I love the word abundance. It was my word last year. It's very, very powerful. Sometimes we live so much in lack and we go with what we know from whether it was our upbringing or whatever. And again, it's that supercomputer. Sometimes we don't even know it's there. We don't even know it's there. And so the word abundance is huge. But it's such an amazing story when you hear somebody who's done it and then it works. And I'm telling you, it absolutely works. The energy changes from that supercomputer when the words came out of your mouth. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know. You know, you were focusing on that. Your energy was there. And so what you focus on, right, grows. So when you change it and you're at the top and you talk about the positive, then you're attracting that. That's what you're attracting. That's what you're bringing. The abundance is an amazing mindset and it helps you with comparison. But that's why I use the word abundance last year, was because I felt myself comparing. I felt myself doing this thing and I was like, why am I doing that? And I felt in the back of my mind, my subconscious, it was telling me things from my past. And I was like, I am love and light, and there is abundance in all things, relationships, money, health, adventures. I love adventures. So it's one of those things that you just change that mindset. But again, it's the specificity of where you're at and what you want to change. So that was perfect. And thank you for sharing, Julie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Osbert, you haven't said much today. Morning. Oh, I don't know. I can't hear him. Can anybody hear
I
him?
got you. No.
Oh, there we go.
I had my mute on my mic. So
There we
yeah,
go.
no, just listening to everyone's affirmations, things like that. We've worked on a couple together, Sin, but one of the ones I say every day is I have the courage and confidence to live to my full potential.
It's a good
And so
one.
it's come to a point to where it was like you know, you're kind of scared, where you're like you feel like you're almost not worthy. And so it's kind of like along the lines of you know, it's just kind of just breaking out of that. And I feel like that's really helped what I've been doing as of late. And I used to say like 20 of them, and then I've really narrowed them down to like 5. So like the ones that
Well,
really hit
again,
home, right? Yeah, I'm always
that's
like
right.
constantly- So
Well, sometimes it's just the practice, right? I am strong. I am beautiful. I am confident. I am, this is just me. And I know in this space of self-development, the word worthy comes, and I don't know where it comes from. I asked this on a different call. I asked John Gordon this. I never had that word in my vocabulary before I started self-development. So if you have that word in your vocabulary, I would suggest you delete it. The other word I suggest you delete is deserve. Deserve has a negative connotation, and so does worthy. I suggest you delete them. If you catch yourself saying these words, find something else to put in there. The other word is don't. Don't think about what you can't do. Think about what you can do. So whenever you say I can't or I don't want to, you switch it. I can and I do. So those are 3 words that I say get rid of. Can't, worthy, and deserve. Get rid of them. If you find yourself saying those 3 words, we got to change it. I can, I am, and I will. How about that? Just thought of that one off the top of my head. I can, I am, and I will. That is the mindset. That is the positive mindset that we need and can absolutely have to make the difference in our lives. Because can't, worthy, and deserve all have negative connotations with them.
Sin, how do you feel about not?
There's a reason I feel like, there's some things
Mhm.
like, give me an example.
Well, my thoughts are not my reality, my behavior is. And I use that as a way to kind of check myself, like, and that's, I know that's not, but like I use that as a, because I can only think, but like my behavior has to match my, my imagination, my, so that's kind of like a way to kind of keep me grounded, if that makes sense. So it's like, am I doing the things that, like, I live by a thing where would people pay me to watch me work? And if I don't feel that way or anything like that, that means I'm not working hard enough. Or I'm not putting, the discipline and habits that are involved in getting to where I need to be. So I kind of think of it from that standpoint. I just want to get your opinion. Obviously, there's no right or wrong answer, but
Say it again.
my thoughts are not my reality. My behavior is.
My behavior is my
Yeah.
behavior is my reality.
Yeah, when you take, yeah, that's right. When you just take it out,
Mhm.
It's the focus, right? My thoughts, I forgot it already. My thoughts are my reality. I forgot it already because I was
Yeah,
focusing
yeah.
on
My,
not.
my
Wait,
behavior is
but I
my
mean, like, I
reality.
think
Yeah,
that's
because
the way to kind of
I
like
was
say it,
focusing
yeah.
on not.
And then grounded. Yeah, my thoughts are my thoughts are not my reality. My behavior is, or like exactly what
So my behavior is my reality.
is my reality. Yeah, absolutely.
My behavior is my reality.
It's good.
Sorry, I
Yes.
don't know.
No, it's good. It's good because I'm processing it. I'm thinking about it. It's good. It's
That's
good.
my biggest thing right now is taking all of those negative connotations and all those words and flipping the script on them.
That's right.
And it's, just in a very short time, it's changed, made all the difference in the world.
Right. And what happens is, so this is the best part. So this is the best part. You consistently do it. And when you get that little tiny nudge, and then you're looking at things and you're like, oh my God, that works. Oh my God, that works. And you keep doing it. Right. And then you want to do it more. And because you want to do it more, you do it more. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And the easier it becomes, then it's just a way of life. And you've changed in the process. It is an amazing, amazing growth process. And every day I learn, and every day I get better. And I absolutely do, from people like you, from the things that I share. And that's all it is. Somebody taught it to me. I'm teaching it to you. You're going to teach it to somebody else. That's it. That is what makes the world a better place. We all have a journey, right? I am here for a reason. And it's to say, yes, you can. I believe, yes, you can. People think they can't. I'm here to tell you, yes, you can. You can do hard things. Right? Ba-dum-bum. Okay. Do we have any last minute questions? I'm going to take a picture. Book club week 2. Lorianne, where are you? Oh,
And you need to hold up your book too, young lady.
oh, I have it.
No, Lauren. Hurry up.
She got it. You guys are great. Okay. You guys are great. Bernie, let me send you a book. Did you get the ebook? Are you reading it?
Yeah. But hey, yeah, a book would be great if you sent it to me.
You gotta DM me your address. DM me your address.
I was
Right.
gonna say,
Right. You,
oops.
you got a pencil?
No, DM me.
Oh,
Just message it to me.
okay.
Say, with I don't know who was saying, oh, Oscar was who was saying this. That made me thought about, you know how then Andrea said my behaviors is my reality. Then it made me thought of like, how can I make the part of thoughts a little bit more nice? So maybe my thoughts are what going to create my future. I am very creative with my thoughts, you know. Maybe you can use I'm very creative with my thoughts and my behaviors is my reality, you know. I thought like, and this is something that I don't know, I reflect on that time, you know, because I think a lot and sometimes they're not positive thoughts. So I try to intentionally stay on the, like, I gotta be creative, but into the positive side, you know, not necessarily be creative into the things that are not positive, but building that creativity and dreaming with those thoughts into a positive matter. Let's say I struggle sometimes with like things that get me a negative. It's like people, like, let's say if I meet men and men are doing things that, I don't know, trigger me in some place, it start me thinking like negative stuff. And, you know, I try to be creative, like, you know, I am God's daughter and I am loved very well. Things like that, you know, just somebody's gonna love me
It's
now.
good.
Just being a positive matter according to the subject, it tries to help me. And I try to keep up on that and reading.
That's a good one, especially you know, when you say you get triggered, you know, that's a good one. And you can say it as many times as you need to for whatever situation. If that happens to you, use it often. It's amazing. That's great. Thank you for sharing that. It is getting a little late. How are we doing? Do we have any other questions?
Now we already saw the sun in Hawaii. Woo!
It is coming up. The sun is coming up. It looks beautiful. It's very peaceful.
Oh my God. Congratulations to your daughter.
Thank you. Thank you. She's very excited. I'm very excited for her.
Oh my God.
I just want to say one more thing. If you are struggling with something, I really, really like that, Osbert. I create and you can say whatever it is, reality, abundance. That is huge. You can use that for anything. I create my health, Ben. I create my health. So what that does is it gives you the power. I create, right? Because you are the person who holds the key. You are the person, not anybody else. So that's really, really powerful. You can use that for anything. I create my whatever you want to create.
No,
I create my health. I create my abundance. I create my, you said reality, right?
yeah, love that, Sin, because like my last one's always today I'm prepared to work hard and to create the life I love. And so like that kind of speaks to me, just you'll
That's
notice
right.
everything's like with production because of like my line of work, but in essence, it's kind of like.
But it keeps you focused. It
Yes.
keeps you focused. It keeps you hungry. It keeps you going because you create it.
Absolutely.
And again, this is why they're so specific. And that's why I asked for examples. So I appreciate everybody chiming in and everybody sharing. That's very, very inspiring to everyone else, right? Because we all have different ideas. There's no right and wrong. It's just the process in which we go through to help us get to that next point. That's why I believe that the whole community and doing it together, I really enjoy our book club and I enjoy having you guys. So the assignment is, write an affirmation for you. So the exercise at the end is 3 things that bring you joy. And the reason why I did it that way, and then 3 things that you would want, that you're either struggling with or that you want to correct. So if it's consistency, if it's your like lack, if there's something that you're lacking that you want to create, that's great. I mean, I love that word. Try to put the word create in one of your affirmations, because remember, it gives you the power. And that is crucial. It's taking it out of everybody's hands. It's giving you the accountability. You're putting yourself in that moment. I create my, that's what it is. It's really good. I really, really like that. Thank you everybody for sharing.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you all. You guys are great. Okay. If you need me, you know what you should do. One-on-one. There's a link. Use it. I'm happy to help, even if it's between now and next week. For week 3. Week 3, I believe it's courage, but let me check. I don't even know. Sometimes it's funny. I read my chapter on the plane. It's kind of funny sometimes reading your own stuff. This is kind of a, oh, I believe that what got you here won't get you there. So there's some changes that have to be made. So this is chapter 3. You can do hard things, holding back. What changes do you need to make? So that's part of chapter 3. So just so you know, but we're working on chapter 2. We walked you through it. We did it together. We gave you ideas. Now it's time to put it into action. So make yourself some affirmations to get you through those hard points. Lorraine, you can message me. I would love it if you just gave me one that you created today. If everybody wants to send me one, I would love it. But you need me to help you and just talk through it sometimes. Sometimes we just have to talk through it, right? We just have to get it out and then we can create the affirmation. So thank you all so much for being here. I love each and every one of you. I love doing this on Saturday. I really do. You light up my heart. Thank you so much.
Thank
Have a,
you.
have a
Thank you.
wonderful day. Bye, you
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.
You guys are great. Thank you.
Have a good time.
Thank you.